All right, we got our 2 loads of fossils. I'm pulling them at 4.5 days because they're fossils and I'm still learning. So one thing I'm automatically noticing is the height of the uh, contents in this one versus the height in this one. So something was working a little bit harder in that one, I believe. I'm not sure. We did fill them up an inch from the bottom of that line and lens eye. They were equally filled, so perhaps smaller pieces in this one, I'm not sure. Okay, the second barrel, the shortest, the barrel that was lowest in height, I did put in second, and there are a lot of smaller pieces. So as they round, they fit together a lot better inside that barrel. So those smaller ones just rounded better maybe. We'll take a look at them. And I always take the time before I look at the rocks to scrub out the inside of this ring. Scrub off the outside of the rings on the lids. I prep myself up for the next stage. I know I'm going stage 2, so I want these really clean. Before I go to stage 2, I'm going to have to run these fossils for a cleaning cycle. So these are clean and ready to go in that cycle. I've got to clean the top of this one. I see some stuff on it. It's not going to affect it. Everything clean on the inside, and I'm going to make sure I clean it again. All right, we're going to start looking at this stuff. All right, let me wash these off and we'll take a closer look at them together. Okay, here we are. We got them all washed off. First of all, super disappointed. The mushroom was destroyed. The base part of that was eaten away completely. Thinking maybe this was it. Yeah, super disappointed at that. Apparently it wasn't a part of the same part of the plant or same type of plant. It was much softer. So there are some great things that came. I'm gonna lower myself down so I can kind of keep a good focus on this stuff. All right, this was that big one that was kind of cut, sweeping over the top, and I've got a lot of this stuff. So, you know, I'm just gonna really have to look through all of that. On this side, you know, this may have been the opening, the mouth. Not exactly sure. I'm just gonna keep this in the process and let it turn out the way it'll turn out. I'm not gonna cut it or anything. Part of some crinoid death plate, smaller piece. Hopefully that turns out really nice. Also another piece of crinoid death plate. If you remember, this one was like almost like dark brown when it started this process. Okay, this was the one. The black was actually kind of really shiny when we started this process, and there was fossilization all over it, so we've kept that intact. This, I believe, was that piece that had veining and stuff, and I thought it was agate that was perhaps loosely detached from the belly of the beast or something. It's turned out pretty cool. We've got a long way to go. Stage 1 simply smooths these rocks. You won't really see these details actually popping out until we get into after stage 2, and then they just will keep brightening up and stuff through stage 4. So we're still very early in this process here, and just try to go through these. You saw them as I was picking them out of the piles. This one is going to be really cool. Kind of love all the different stuff on this one. So yep, this was that agate piece, crinoid death plate type agate piece. This was the one that had all those spots on it, and I wasn't sure if it was part of the plant or if it was something else. I kind of like the way it's turning out. It's got a lot of agate part to it, so yeah, I'm gonna keep that running right through with the rest of them. This is the one that I think was, if you remember, I was going through it and I saw some of the rounder structures towards the bottom right of this portion. This is that agate part coming through. This one is one of those that has the mouth or the teeth looking stuff on it. This one's the one that has the fossilization all around it. This may have been inside the plant, or I keep calling it a plant. It was actually a sea creature, a plant-like sea creature, carnivore. So I call it a plant just because it looked like a plant, but it was an animal. I think it ate a lot of the, oh, what do they call that little stuff floating in the ocean? Whales eat and stuff. I gotta watch SpongeBob today with the boys. I'll tell you what that is tomorrow. I'll remember it. Alright, this is a piece that had stuff on both sides. It's kind of darker. Now, if you remember, it had a really rough crack spot right there. So that is completely gone. So I'm really glad I pulled this stuff out at the time I did. I should have run it until Wednesday night. So we're actually 2.5 days early. I'll definitely keep that in mind running fossils in the future. This grit is great grit. For something of this nature, I'm probably going to run it for just a few days in the first stage in the future. And because that's where all the rounding and most of the rough parts of the rock are taken away. So, you know, with fossils, I'm disappointed the mushroom's gone, but perhaps it was just a fossilized mushroom and with the mix, because if it was so soft it was destroyed, then, you know, definitely wasn't like the rest of these. I love that neon green. I've got quite a few that have that same green in it, and I think it's just really awesome. Alright, this is that one that had a couple fossils on it. This is the one I believe was loosely connected or attached. It almost, see the eye in it, and that almost looks like it could have been that mouth looking part. Yeah, it's coming out cool. It's agate. This one's got a lot of great stuff in it. A lot of great stuff in this one too. Looks like a sad alien. This one's gonna show a lot more as we move forward. It's got a lot of texture on it, and it's not all visible. All right, and I did kind of sort them into two different boxes, kind of. And this is that big agate piece. It did have a lot of texture on it. I'm not really seeing a whole lot as far as the plant structures. Keep that running. Another one. Kind of put the coolest ones in the first box, but we're finding a little bit. That's a smaller part of that crinoid. There's going to be a lot going on in these as we move forward in progress, because a lot of this little detail stuff will start really pulling out of these things. I think that was the mushroom, people. We'll see what it starts to show moving forward. Another agate piece. Yeah, we'll see a lot more details in these things as they move forward. This is a piece that had one little fossilization on it, and I'm not seeing much that came through. We're going to see what happens in the next stage. Now, I'm kind of losing my zoom. Alright, so this one was that. Yeah. Alright, it had that really bright spot shining at me. Really dirty, really fractured. We're gonna keep it moving. See what it looks like in the end. It may be really, really cool. And I always love stuff like this. I pick all of this stuff up that I see. And this is the ship. Looks like a gunship. That's that one that had the hole in the end, I believe, that I was selecting out of my smaller pieces. Wait, no, this is the one I was thinking of. That's the one I was thinking of. The hole in the end. Let's see. Alright, we're just gonna move the rest of this stuff on through. I've got to do a cleaning stage. The cleaning cycle, I'm gonna put them back in the barrels with 1 or 2 drops of Dawn dish detergent, and we're gonna run them for probably 4 to 6 hours. We'll pull them out, and then we'll make sure we scrub them with a toothbrush, and any spots that have any holes or anything, we'll get in there with a needle, make sure all the grit comes out from stage 1. And then we're gonna put them in this evening, going into stage 2. And stage 2 is a softer ride, so we'll my thinking is 7 days, but I may change that. Polishing stages I'll probably leave in the full length, but we'll take an idea. We'll figure that out later. Thank you.